Breaking point. The Great Hall of the Galactic Alliance hummed with the voices of 1,000 species. Light from 3 distant suns filtered through the crystal dome, casting prismatic patterns across delegates from worlds spanning half the galaxy. Commander Alexis Chen of Earth's Diplomatic Corps stood at the edge of the chamber, her dark uniform a stark contrast to the colorful garments of the alien representatives. For 50 years, humanity had played by the rules. They had joined the Galactic Alliance with open arms, sharing technology, resources, and culture while accepting their place as newcomers to the interstellar community. Earth had willingly limited its military expansion as a gesture of good faith, believing peaceful cooperation was the path forward. Chen's comm unit vibrated against her wrist. The message was coded at the highest security level. Evidence confirmed. Meet at extraction point. Urgent. Her heart raced as she slipped away from the chamber. Captain Marcus Rivera waited in a secure room 3 levels below, his face grim. "They've been lying to us all along," he said without preamble, activating a holographic display. "These are encrypted communications between the Caldari High Command and their representatives on the Alliance Council." Chen watched as the translated text scrolled before her eyes. The content was unmistakable. Detailed plans to systematically exploit Earth's resources, restrict human technological development, and eventually reduce Earth to a client state. "They've been playing us for fools," Rivera continued. "The mining rights they generously granted us in the Proxima system. Our own territory to begin with. The technology they shared, outdated by centuries. Meanwhile, they've been cataloging every resource on Earth and our colonies." Chen's jaw tightened. "How did you get this?" "Admiral Zhou's team intercepted a Caldari courier vessel. They never expected us to break their encryption." Rivera paused. "There's more. The pirate attacks on our outer colonies. Not pirates." Before Chen could respond, her comm unit blared with an emergency alert. The feed from Harmony Colony in the Ta Ceti system showed buildings in flames. Sleek, angular ships rained destruction from above. Ships with Caldari markings. "This is no rogue action," Rivera said quietly. "This is coordinated. They're testing our response." 24 hours later, Earth's Security Council convened in the underground chamber beneath Geneva. The faces around the table were ashen as they reviewed the evidence and casualty reports from Harmony Colony. 837 dead. Defense Minister Okafor stated flatly. "The Caldari are claiming it was a misunderstanding, a military exercise gone wrong." President Gabriela Santos stood at the head of the table. For 10 years, she had championed cooperation with the Alliance, believing in galactic unity. Now her eyes were hard as granite. "We have tried diplomacy," she said. "We have shown patience. We have extended trust. And in return, we have been manipulated, exploited, and now attacked." She looked at each council member in turn. "Today, we acknowledge reality. Peace requires mutual respect, and the Caldari, indeed much of the Alliance, have shown none." Admiral James Zhou cleared his throat. "Madam President, if I may speak freely." Santos nodded. "For 5 decades, we've maintained a public facade of military limitation while developing our capabilities in secret. Project Phoenix is ready for implementation. The question is no longer whether we can defend ourselves, but whether we're willing to show the galaxy what humanity is truly capable of." The room fell silent. Everyone present knew what Project Phoenix entailed: the activation of hidden shipyards, orbital weapons platforms, and technologies the Alliance believed were beyond human development. "The vote before this council is clear," President Santos said. "Do we continue the charade of peaceful submission, or do we stand up and reveal ourselves?" The vote was unanimous. Within hours, encrypted signals flashed to hidden facilities across the solar system and beyond. Deep beneath the lunar surface, massive bay doors opened for the first time in decades. On Mars, underground hangars hummed to life as ships that officially didn't exist powered up their systems. In the asteroid belt, mining operations transformed into military staging areas. Admiral Zhao stood on the bridge of the HFY Defiant, a vessel officially classified as a research ship. In reality, it was the most advanced warship ever built by human hands, incorporating technologies the Alliance believed humans wouldn't discover for centuries. "All systems online," Admiral reported his executive officer. "Fleet status reports coming in. We're at 94% readiness." Zhao nodded. "Set course for Ta City. Let's show the Keldari what happens when you attack a human colony." The Defiant emerged from FTL travel on the outskirts of the Ta City system. 3 Keldari warships still orbited Harmony Colony, their crews confident in their technological superiority. "Open a channel," Zhao ordered. When the connection was established, a reptilian Keldari commander appeared on screen, his scaled face showing surprise at seeing the human vessel. "This is Admiral James Zhao of the Earth Defense Fleet. Your attack on Harmony Colony was an act of war. You have 1 minute to power down your weapons and surrender." The Keldari commander's crest flared in amusement. "Humans don't fight. You have no warships, and that research vessel isn't equipped for combat. Return to Earth and address your grievances through proper Alliance channels." Zhao's expression remained impassive. 50 seconds. The Keldari commander cut the transmission. "They're powering weapons," Admiral reported the tactical officer. "Deploy countermeasures and bring weapons online. Show them what we've been hiding." The Defiant's outer hull reconfigured as hidden weapon ports opened. Energy signatures unlike anything the Alliance had witnessed surged through the ship. Before the Keldari vessels could fire, precision beams lanced across space, slicing through their supposedly superior shields like paper. 2 Keldari ships exploded instantly. The third managed to fire a single salvo that dissipated harmlessly against the Defiant's defense field before it too was reduced to drifting debris. "Send the recording to all Alliance diplomatic channels," Zhao ordered. "It's time they learned the truth about humanity." In the Galactic Alliance headquarters, chaos erupted as the footage spread. Representatives huddled in urgent discussion, security forces scrambled, and emergency sessions were called. High Chancellor Vex of the Keldari Dominion watched the destruction of their warships with disbelief. "Impossible," he muttered. "Their technology is primitive. We've monitored their development for decades." His intelligence director's scales had paled to ashen gray. "Chancellor, we're receiving reports from across human space. They've activated everything. Orbital platforms, fleet assets, ground defenses, systems we never detected." "How many ships?" "We've confirmed at least 300 vessels of military grade, possibly more." 300. Vex's crest flattened against his skull. "They officially have 12 patrol crafts." "It appears, Chancellor," the intelligence director said carefully, "that we never truly knew what the humans were capable of." On Earth, President Santos addressed the global population. Her message was simultaneously translated and broadcast to every human colony and outpost. "For 50 years, we extended our hand in friendship to the galaxy. Today, that hand has closed into a fist. The attack on Harmony Colony has made one thing clear: peace is only possible between equals. From this day forward, humanity reclaims its right to self-determination. We withdraw from all alliance treaties that limit our development or sovereignty." She paused, her eyes reflecting the resolve of her species. "To those who have treated us fairly, we offer continued friendship. To those who have deceived and exploited us, be warned. Humanity is awake, and we will no longer be underestimated." The reckoning. The Galactic Alliance Council chamber had never been so silent. Representatives from over 300 species sat frozen in their seats as they watched footage of the Defiant destroying 3 Keldari warships with effortless precision. The images were followed by satellite views of Earth's solar system, now bristling with previously hidden defense platforms and shipyards. High Chancellor Vex's holographic image dominated the central platform. His scaled face showed a mixture of rage and fear. "The humans have deceived us all," he declared. They signed the limitation treaties while secretly building an armée. This council must act immediately to contain this threat before the chamber doors slid open. Cutting off his words, Commander Alexis Chen walked calmly to the speaker's platform, flanked by two human officers in formal military attire. The sight of armed humans in the council chamber sent a ripple of alarm through the delegates. "Where is Ambassador Wilson?" demanded Council Moderator Zell, her translucent tentacles pulsing with stress patterns. "Ambassador Wilson has been recalled," Chen replied coolly. "I am here to deliver Earth's formal notice of withdrawal from the Galactic Alliance, effective immediately." Uproar erupted across the chamber. Chen waited impassively until the moderator restored order. "Humanity joined this alliance in good faith," Chen continued. "We limited our visible military presence. We shared resources. We accepted unfavorable trade terms. In return, we have been systematically exploited, our colonies attacked, and our sovereignty undermined." She activated a data crystal, projecting damning evidence onto the Council's main display. Secret communications, unauthorized resource extraction records, manipulated trade agreements. Earth will no longer recognize the authority of this Council over human affairs. We will defend our territories with all necessary force. Any unauthorized vessel entering human space will be considered hostile and dealt with accordingly. Chancellor Vex's hologram flickered as he leaned forward. "This is nothing but pretext for human aggression. The Council cannot allow." "The Council," Chen interrupted, "cannot stop us. That is the reality you must now accept." As Chen turned to leave, the representative from Sirius, a feline being who had maintained favorable relations with Earth, hurried after her. "Commander, please," the Syrian pleaded quietly. "Not all of us supported the Keldari policies. Some of us wish to maintain good relations with Earth." Chen paused. "Then I suggest you distance yourselves from the Keldari quickly, Ambassador Terral. Earth remembers its friends and its enemies." In the aftermath of Chen's appearance, the Council fractured along predictable lines. Smaller powers that had also suffered under Keldari influence privately celebrated. Larger powers began emergency military reviews, suddenly concerned about their own vulnerabilities. On the Keldari homeworld, Chancellor Vex convened his war council. Holographic displays showed the movements of the human fleet, which had established defensive perimeters around all Earth colonies. "We must respond with overwhelming force," insisted Fleet Commander Draz, his crest fully extended in aggression. "Gather the combined might of our dominion. The humans cannot stand against our full strength." Intelligence Director Seth shook her head, scales shifting to a cautious blue. "And risk sending our ships to be destroyed like the last. The humans clearly prepared for this moment for decades. We have no idea what other surprises they might have waiting." "You suggest surrender?" Draz spat. "I suggest," Seth replied carefully, "that we learn exactly what we're facing before we commit to a war we might not win." The decision was made for them 12 hours later. Across Keldari space, alarms blared as human vessels appeared near critical military outposts and supply lines. Operation Thunderstrike had begun. Admiral Zhao directed the campaign from the bridge of the flagship Nemesis, a vessel 3 times the size of the Defiant and equipped with technology that made Alliance engineers question their understanding of physics. "First wave reports complete success, Admiral," his tactical officer announced. 17 Keldari military installations neutralized with minimal collateral damage. No human casualties. Zhao nodded. "Proceed to Phase 2. Throughout Keldari space, strategic targets fell one by one. Weapon depots, shipyards, command centers, all disabled with surgical precision. The humans didn't seek to destroy infrastructure or cause civilian casualties. This was a demonstration of overwhelming technological superiority and tactical precision. Within 24 hours, the Keldari Dominion's military backbone was broken. Chancellor Vex, watching his empire's defenses crumble, made the only decision possible. He sent an emergency communication to Earth, requesting immediate cessation of hostilities and offering unconditional surrender. The final confrontation came at the Arcturus Gate, a strategic wormhole nexus that controlled access to 12 star systems. A coalition of species loyal to the Caldari had gathered their combined fleets there, over 500 vessels representing the largest military force the Alliance could muster. Facing them were 70 human ships. On the bridge of the Coalition flagship, alien commanders watched with growing unease as the human vessels maintained perfect formation, making no aggressive moves. They're outnumbered 7-1, the Praxi commander noted. Even with their advanced technology, they cannot prevail against our combined might. The Ulteran admiral wasn't so confident. Then why do they look so calm? The answer came moments later when the human fleet transmitted a single message to all coalition vessels. Your weapons cannot harm us. Your shields cannot protect you. We offer one chance to withdraw. The coalition commanders debated briefly before deciding to engage. 500 ships advanced, weapons charged. What followed wasn't a battle, it was a demonstration. As the coalition opened fire, their energy weapons and projectiles simply vanished before reaching the human vessels. No explosions, no impacts against shields. The attacks ceased to exist mid-trajectory. Then, without firing a single shot of their own, the human fleet activated what would later be called the Stillness Field. Across the coalition armada, ships lost power. Engines, weapons, life support, all systems except basic life maintenance shut down simultaneously. Admiral Zhao's voice transmitted to every disabled vessel. This is the true extent of human capability. We could destroy your ships with ease, but we choose restraint. Consider this demonstration concluded. As power gradually returned to the coalition ships, their commanders faced a humbling reality. They had never truly understood what they were dealing with. 3 days later, Chancellor Vex stood before the Galactic Council, his proud crest now flat against his skull. Behind him, human officers monitored the proceedings with impassive faces. The Caldari Dominion, Vex announced, his voice heavy with defeat, acknowledges its aggression against humanity and accepts full responsibility for the conflict. President Santos, attending in person rather than sending a representative, stepped forward. Humanity did not seek this confrontation, but neither will we apologize for defending ourselves. For too long, certain members of this alliance have operated under the assumption that technological advancement grants the right to exploitation. Today marks the end of that era. She activated a holographic display showing a new galactic map with revised boundaries and trade routes. These are our terms. Earth and its colonies will remain independent of Alliance control. We will establish fair trade agreements with individual worlds based on mutual benefit. Any aggression against human settlements will be met with immediate and decisive response. She looked around the chamber. However, we remain open to genuine partnership with those who treat us as equals. Humanity still believes cooperation is preferable to conflict, but only when that cooperation is based on mutual respect. As the negotiations proceeded, a new galactic order began to take shape. Smaller powers found their voices amplified with Earth's support. The Caldari influence waned as their deceptions were laid bare, and throughout the known universe, a simple truth spread. Humanity had never been the primitive species they appeared to be. In the years that followed, the galaxy discovered another truth about humans. They were as capable of generosity as they were of righteous fury. Medical technologies previously kept secret were shared with world-suffering plagues. Defense systems were established around vulnerable planets. Exploration ships ventured into unknown regions, expanding the maps of known space. On the 5th anniversary of what historians now call the Awakening, Admiral Zhao and Commander Chen stood on the observation deck of Harmony Colony, now rebuilt and thriving. Do you think they understand us better now? Chen asked, watching ships from a dozen worlds dock at the colony's bustling spaceport. Zhao considered the question. Perhaps, or perhaps they simply fear us. Fear isn't the foundation we wanted to build upon. No, Zhao agreed. But respect often begins with understanding power. The rest, trust, cooperation, friendship, those come later. Below them, human children played alongside the offspring of 5 alien species, their laughter carrying through the artificial atmosphere. They're learning, Chen observed with a smile. And so are we. Across the galaxy, the message was clear. Humanity had walked away from peace, but only to forge a stronger one on their own terms.